Hi, my name is Eric Olson, Director of HELPS. This video is designed or intended for members of HELPS for senior citizens or disabled persons that are enrolled in our program that have questions. And this email is to answer the question, what do I do if I'm served with legal papers? Who do I contact? I'm scared, I don't know what to do. So first, I want to remind you that if your income is Social Security, pension, disability, and VA benefits, that income is protected. It can't be taken from you. If you get sued, someone gets a judgment against you, they can't garnish or take that money. So remember that. So just because a person enrolls in HELPS doesn't mean that that person won't be sued. It is possible you could be sued. I often tell people, if you're sued, it's nothing personal. It's just a decision made by a computer. I've noticed for the last several years that Discover Card, for example, sues a lot more people than other creditors, and some creditors don't sue. I think as a matter of fact that a lot of persons that enroll in HELPS, when the creditor gets a letter from us saying that our client's income is Social Security or pension and it's protected, a lot of times they may make a decision somehow that they're not going to sue that person. But just because you enroll in HELPS doesn't mean that you're not going to get sued. And if you've never been sued before or served papers, it could be a scary experience, but I'm here to explain to you that it isn't, and I'll explain why. First off, when you are sued, someone probably came to the front door and handed you some papers and served them on you and gave them to you. That could have been a sheriff's deputy. Every county in the nation has a sheriff that's what's called a civil deputy, and he doesn't do anything criminal, but what he's assigned to do is to serve legal papers. So you're not going to go to jail just because it's a sheriff's deputy. That's just his job, and it's a service that's offered by the county where you live. So don't worry if a sheriff's deputy serves you with some legal papers. Now, what do you do with the papers and you're a member of HELPS? You get them to us. You can email them to us. You can fax them to us. You can take a picture with your telephone and send them by text to our office, or you can put a paper in the mail. Now, and if you're really worried, you can call us on the phone right then, and we'll explain why you don't need to worry and how to get them to us, and remind you why your income is safe. So, in fact, as soon as we get those papers, what we'll do is we'll send you a letter personally to you, but usually by email if you have email, so it gets there immediately. That explains why your income is protected and why you don't need to worry, with a lot of links to articles and videos that explain this. And then we're also going to send a letter to the attorney or the law firm or whoever sued you, explaining to them that your income is protected, it can't be taken from you, and requesting that they not touch your bank account. And I'll explain in a few minutes why your bank account is safe, why that's not going to be a problem, so you don't need to worry about that. And we'll copy you with that letter. In fact, if you want to, we can send both of those letters ahead of time. We've got them preloaded to send an email with what we send to HELPS clients, what we do for HELPS clients if they are sued. So we can give you that information ahead of time if you really want. Now remember, because you enroll in HELPS, it doesn't mean you're going to be sued. I think a small minority of our clients are sued. Most of them don't get sued. But if they do, once again, there's no reason to worry about it. HELPS, we don't represent people in court. We don't technically give legal advice. And the reason is our clients, if they're sued, they owe the money. If you think you don't owe the money, you can always contest it. If you're going to do that, you need to call us and we'll give you some explanation on what to do. But if you do owe the money, there's really no need for you to contest it, okay? Sometimes when you get served the legal papers, there might be a date and a time for a court appearance, and you think you're going to have to be in court. But if you read that carefully, that's only if you're going to contest the item and fight it, in which event you'd have to file some papers and answer, probably have to pay a fee. But if you're not going to contest the item, there's no need to go to court. Now, the only thing that we want to make sure people understand is If you've already been sued and someone has a judgment against you, and you get a piece of paper, another piece of paper either served on you or sent to you, then get a copy of that to help so we can look at it and make sure it's going to be okay, not any problem. A very small minority of our clients get what's called a debtor's exam, or a request for them to come into court and be questioned about their assets. It's important that you get that to us, and in that event, we'll contact the attorney and we'll give them the proof that your income is protected. And literally 99% of the time, they'll just say, okay, this person doesn't need to come into court. We don't need a question about their assets. So don't worry about that. And if you did, we'd tell you what to do, or we're able to normally help have a pro bono attorney go with someone. But the chance of you actually ever having to go to court is so minuscule that I don't want any of our clients worrying about that. So bottom line is, if you get legal papers either in the mail or served to you, get a copy to HELPS and get it to us instantly, really, by nowadays. And we'll talk to you virtually immediately about it and explain why you don't have to worry. So hopefully this answers the question why you don't have to worry if you're sued. And we'll explain to you why your assets are protected, your personal property is protected. But it's natural for someone that's been sued to be worried, and that's why one of the reasons HELPS is here, so we can answer your questions and assure you. And hopefully this has been helpful for you, and you have a great day. Hi, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to subscribe to HELPS YouTube channel, click on the button below. We prepare a YouTube video at least once every week dealing with financial issues for seniors and disabled persons. Have a great day.